These are the adventures of a temporarily out of work wife and mother. Last Saturday was the Empanada Festival, so my daughter and I did a thing. We went together, and she paid. Can you believe that? But first, get ready with me. So this hair is in need of a wash, deep conditioning style, so I had to do something quick to it. I just decided that I would put it up in a ponytail and put some wavy twist out situation in the front. So that's what I did. Put a little daily moisturizing cream on it after spraying it down, brushing it up, and then I use my Kinks hair tie. These things are the truth, baby. When I say they don't pull your hair out, you can adjust the tightness of them. You can get them in different sizes, and they are perfect for natural hair, for taking that afro and making a ponytail, or even just making a nice puff. So using some water and that daily moisturizing cream, I made 3 twists in the front, left them in while I did my makeup and got dressed. And then I took those twists out later on. You know, I had to lay those edges a little bit so that I looked like my hair was done with some kind of intention. Y'all know how that can be. This hair is growing like wildfire. So I recorded a video of washing and conditioning and styling my hair, and that'll be posted soon. Now it's time to wash that face and apply that makeup. The body is already clean, so I'm good to go. I use my Mary Kay 3-in-1 face wash, and then I went in with my Dermalogica Daily Microfoliant. The key to good makeup is good skincare and good skin prep. And while I wasn't planning on doing a full glam beat, anytime I'm putting any kind of makeup on my face, the skincare and the skin prep is an absolute must. Contacts are in, and now we're using our 24K elixir. It's a brightening product, and then we used our beauty cream and our Tulsa under eye cream before we used our Mary Kay daily moisturizer. Then I used my primers from Lashing Out Glam. My girl Chastity gave me this tip to use both of those primers together. And when I say they create a smooth base in preparation for a flawless finish, they do just that. I went in with my Benefit pencil, and if you know, I have micro shaded brows, but I like to shape them differently whenever I'm wearing makeup. I use my NYX matchsticks to conceal under and above my brows, and then I used a lighter shade to give a highlighted effect underneath the brow. And I use those same shades on my face in the areas where I plan to highlight. Then I went in with my Fenty contour stick on my cheekbones, my chin, my forehead, under my lip for a pout, and on my nose. Then I went in with my Beauty Shop 2-in-1 blush lipstick and used my Yummy Skin Tint instead of a foundation to give it a more natural look. And then I went in with my all over face brush by the Beauty Shop to just begin blending in that skin tint. I also blended the blush with it and a good portion of the concealer as well. And then I used that same brush to blend my contour. Yes, that brush is the bomb. There is no transfer, so I don't have to worry about pressing into my contour and then pressing into my highlight and those colors transferring or mixing because the brush is the truth. Lastly, I blended out the highlight on my forehead, my nose, and under my eye and on my chin using the Beauty Shop patter brush. I also blended the concealer under and on my eyelid so that it was seamless. Once I had that thoroughly blended, I blended out the contour on my nose, and then I used that face brush to make sure that there was no lines of demarcation, and then I sprayed my face down with that Morphe setting mist, fanned it dry, and used one of my Beauty Shop puffs to apply some Beauty Shop multi-purpose loose powder in the color Tan Deep to all of the places where I used highlight or where I wanted a contrast, like under the contour on my cheeks. Once I had all of that powder pressed in, I went back under the eyes to make sure that I put some additional powder before I sprayed down again. That powder is waterproof, so you'll notice that when I spray it, it disappears, and then when I use the fan, it comes back, which is exactly what I want. So then I went ahead and powder contoured, powder blushed, applied some highlight to the tip of my nose and above my lips. Since I don't have a Cupid's bow, I like to make it look like I do. And then I put a little bit of that highlighter on my cheeks as well. And then I use that face brush and my finishing powder or my face powder to make that all meld together. I applied some Clinique mascara, and then I just used my blush to go above my eyes to give it a little bit of color to make it almost appear like I did eyeshadow. And I use some of the highlight, the same highlight that's on my nose and above my lips, at the very bottom of my lid. Again, giving the appearance that I did some eyeshadow, just a little something, something. Then I used a brown lip pencil to line my lips, and then I used that same blush to add color to my lips, and then I used a little concealer to tame that color down to give it a nice ombre effect. Took that scarf off and undid those 3 twists, and voila. Then I threw on a comfortable fit, had to wrap my set, Z-Fi, threw on some accessories and hopped in the car, and my daughter was driving. So that means that she controlled the music, and this is what it was. Now it's time for the Empanada Festival. Here we go. So Camp North End is full of lots of things to do. And this Saturday was no different. Baby, they had empanadas from every dang on country. Mexico, Puerto Rico, the DR, Peru, Colombia, Cuba. And I was in little Puerto Rican and black heaven. I even had an opportunity to fangirl with one of the anchors from La Noticia. She was so shocked that I knew her name. She should know by now that there are Afro-Latinas out here in this world. But nonetheless, we enjoyed eating just about everything we could find. So first we went with traditional empanadas from Mexico. And they were pretty good. Empanada right there. Mm-hmm. And then we found soul food empanadas. Baby, when I tell you, these people had the audacity to put barbecue beef ribs and collard greens inside an empanada. And honey, we ate it, sure did. I also got a peach cobbler empanada from them. But first, these quesadillas. Ooh, baby, when I tell you they were delicious. We had our lime, we had our verde, we had our dip. And honey, they came with 3. I ate 1 and I saved 2 to take home. And I washed all this down with a mango fresca. Thoughts?
8.5 out of 10. It's so good. Mm-hmm. So good.
And now it's time to try those soul food empanadas. Baby, those things were huge. I ended up only being able to eat half of each one, and then I saved the other half and took it home. I tried to feed some to the man sitting next to me, but he wasn't jacking no soul food empanada. And then it was time for some Cuban shish kebabs. Oh my God. We shared this one because we were almost full. And that's my to-go box. And we had to have some dessert. We had some sorbet. And then we finished it up with some margaritas and some music. We even found some vendors on the top level that were selling some really cool stuff. And we even bought a book from a black author. And it was time to go. We were full, satiated, and tired. We had to check out this beautiful skyline. And then because this is the South, we had to see something crazy. A man driving a horse-drawn carriage down the middle of the street. A major street.